Super Bowl 54 headline stars like Patrick Mahomes, Richard Sherman, Travis Kelce, and Jimmy Garoppolo. These well-known stars put on a show, with the Chiefs coming out on top with an all-time great comeback. But one thing people overlooked was the fact that there were 28 undrafted active players on each team's roster. Players such as Damian Williams, Matt Breida, and Azeez Al-Shaair are a few players to name. All 28 of those players were overlooked and now got the opportunity to play in a Super Bowl, something first-rounders don't even get near. All great players, but the one player we're spotlighting today is 49ers 27-year-old running back Raheem Mostert. Mostert this season led a stacked depth chart of running backs with counterparts Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman, with all three running backs exceeding 500 yards, establishing San Francisco's ground game. Mostert led the pack with 772 rushing yards on 8 touchdowns, while also receiving for 108 yards on 2 touchdowns. When looking at his stats and production, you see a pretty high-yielding running back on a contending team. What you don't look at is what it took for Mostert to get to this position. Going into the 2015 NFL Draft, Mostert was looked at as more of a special teams guy, finishing only with 759 rushing yards on 6 touchdowns, with most of his rushing yards coming his senior season, contributing 529 rushing yards on 3 touchdowns. Mostert finished with a total of 2,289 kickoff return yards on 2 touchdowns. A star-studded draft at the running back spot, you saw players like Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon get selected, even David Johnson getting scooped up in the 3rd round. Mostert did get a call from the Philadelphia Eagles and signed as an undrafted free agent. In that year's preseason, he led the NFL in yards from scrimmage with a total of 351. Unfortunately, after the preseason, Mostert was cut from the Eagles and signed on to the practice squad September 6th. Then, on September 14, 2015, the Miami Dolphins signed Mostert from Philadelphia's practice squad. Mostert started on Miami's special team squad in Week 2, racking up 57 kickoff return yards on 2 returns. Not even able to get comfortable, Mostert was then released by the Dolphins on October 13th. Luckily, a day later, Baltimore signed Mostert after having their 3rd-string running back Lorenzo Taliaferro sustain a season-ending foot injury. In 7 games for the Ravens, Mostert returned 5 kicks for 164 yards. Then again, on December 15th, Mostert was cut by the Ravens and claimed off waivers by the Cleveland Browns a day later. Named the starting kick returner for the Browns' final 3 games, Mostert finished the season with 309 yards on 12 kick returns. You would think at this point, maybe Raheem finally found a home. Well, not quite yet. On September 4, 2016, Mostert was waived by the Browns and then picked up by the Jets 2 days later, just to be released 6 days later. The true definition of a journeyman, Mostert signed with the Bears practice squad a day after getting released and even got promoted to the active roster and appearing in 2 games. But once again, on November 24, 2016, Mostert got released by the Bears. Now, you have to think, how does this affect a person? Getting signed to a team? Getting cut just to get signed by another team a day later? This is a lot on one person. Traveling practically every month? Not even being able to settle down and get a home? This could hurt someone physically and mentally to the point where you might tap out and just have to find a new career. Not Mostert though. He kept fighting, staying in shape, being thankful to the opportunities given to him. But what Mostert didn't know was all that fighting and keeping his head focused would finally pay off. On November 28, 2016, Raheem Mostert was signed by the 49ers practice squad and then promoted to the active roster on December 31st. Mostert wasn't really utilized until the 2018 season. His coming out party took place Week 6, 2018 against the Packers, where he rushed for 87 yards on 12 carries, averaging a little over 7 yards per carry. Unfortunately, San Francisco lost, but they realized Mostert could contribute to the struggling team that season. Mostert 2 weeks later would go on to score his first touchdown against the Oakland Raiders on a 52-yard run. However, later in the game, Mostert would fracture his arm and leave the game with an impressive 86 yards on only 7 carries. He will be placed on injury reserve and finish the season with 261 rushing yards on 1 touchdown. Mostert's impressive season would land him a 3-year extension the next season, and from there, his career took a turn for the best. In the 2019 season, Mostert had big games against the Ravens Week 12 with 146 rushing yards and the Saints with a total of 109 yards and a touchdown, Week 14, and the game a lot of people discovered Mostert, the NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers, where Mostert ran for a ridiculous 220 rushing yards on 4 touchdowns. Wow, what a journey. Raheem Mostert got cut 6 times but didn't give up. He kept grinding. Every opportunity he got, he made the most out of it. He proved to people, keep chasing your dreams, and I hope this inspires you. To everybody out there, keep chasing your dreams, Keep grinding, they will come true. Don't ever give up. That's what Raheem Mostert proved. And I hope he inspired a lot of you guys from listening to this story. He definitely inspired me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's Certified Pretty Boy, and I'm out. Peace.